Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about gentle skincare, sometimes self-care, and today we're talking June favorites. The video where I get to share with you all the skincare and beauty products that made a big difference in my life this month. Plus, I have a fail for you as well. So if you're so ready to find out all the products I love and the one that I really don't, give the video a big thumbs up and let's get started. So first up is the by Wishtrend Cera-Barrier Soothing Ampoule. Now, I did feature this in the Juicy Serums video, so you know this is bringing a lot of hydration to the skin, and this has been like such a summertime skincare pick for me. I have been using this so much. I've already used up half the bottle. When that hot weather rolls around, my combination skin becomes super combo, you know what I'm saying? The oil in the T-zone really starts producing, and it's funny because most of the year I'm like, I am combo. I do get a little bit of oil in my T-zone, but then summer comes around. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I can actually get really oily in the summertime. And so I'm dealing with that early summer imbalance, and just kind of like finding those right tweaks and balance within my skincare is essential. This serum, I think it's just really doing that for me, and I've just been reaching for it all the time. It is a creamy emulsion type of texture, which you know I'm a sucker for. I love serums that bring hydration and moisture in a creamy kind of medium feel. This has that, but it's actually a lot lighter than some of my favorite creamy serums. I did say it is in the Juicy Serums video, so you know there's a burst of hydration with this. The moisture is here. It's balancing, but it's not super rich. It's not oily. It's not overwhelming. It's not even I wouldn't even call it like a super medium weight type of serum. It just feels so good, really breathable, while still like keeping my skin in check. You know what I'm saying? So texture wise, the quality that it brings to my skin with hydration and moisture, it's just like the very perfect thing for this like particular weather moment. You know what I mean? My skin just drinks this up. So much juicy hydration. But the ingredients, I mean, the formula here, that's what we really seek for in skincare. What's it going to do for me beyond just that? And I love the ingredients. I mean, it is, as the, the name suggests, Cera, like ceramides, Cera-Barrier. This is all about keeping your moisture barrier strong with ceramides and phytosphingosine, absolutely. But then there's a lot of peptides in here, and like a really quality blend of peptides. Copper peptide and tripeptide 1, those are peptides that work in sync with each other, if you will. They help each other out. Tripeptide helps with fine lines and wrinkles, but it's also a carrier peptide for copper tripeptide, which we know is one of the best well-aging peptides for fine lines and wrinkles. And I mean, really just down the list of peptides, it's all about targeting well-aging on the skin, which is another concern of mine. I never want to leave well-aging off the table when it comes to building a skincare routine. Even if I'm just trying to control oil and hydrate my skin, if I can get those peptides, I'm a happy girl, and like this serum is making me a very happy girl. So next, let's talk about the Versed Total Package Replenishing Body Lotion. Now this is actually offering SPF 30 using zinc oxide. They're using about 17%. Let me just tell you that I have some reservations about this. This is a little bit different than my usual favorites for the month. And what I always say at the beginning of the video is that these are the picks, these are the products this month that made a big impression on me or helped me in some way. And so with that definition, this product really has made an impression on me and has helped me a lot this month. But the separate question here is it a perfect product? Because sometimes that word favorite really holds like a heavy weight to it, right? Is it a perfect product in my eyes? It actually is not. So I don't want to get this confused at all. This is a favorites with reservations. So let's jump in. Let me tell you about it. So this is not a dedicated body sunscreen product. They're really packaging this as a body lotion. And that really comes down to the texture here. It's very elegant. It spreads really beautifully. It does bring a nice light moisturization element to the skin. It like just absorbs in really quickly, and it doesn't have, some body sunscreens feel really sticky on the skin, or sometimes they feel very wet on the skin, and especially if they have some water resistance to them, they often have almost like a plasticky kind of feeling, like your skin is just coated in like this plasticky type of layer, and it just feels very odd. And so that's really how it's been benefiting me this month. It's just so easy to put this on because it doesn't feel weird or sticky. I don't think I have to jump into the shower immediately once I'm done being out in the sun because I can't stand how sticky my skin is feeling. It's not like transferring onto my clothes. So I really do just like how easy it makes putting body sunscreen on. And like maybe I'm the only one in this room who's feeling like that's kind of a tough thing to do. I don't think I am though. It's always like, it's just always kind of like an afterthought for me. It's like, I'll put the sunscreen on my face and I'll put it all over like exposed like neck and chest, but then I'm like, oh yeah, my arms. I forgot about my arms. And then I'm using like, I'm trying to use like a UPF rated like clothing, or like I'll use the sun sleeves or something, but it's just like, you know, this just makes putting on sunscreen really effortless. It takes no time at all because it's not something I have to work vigorously into my skin. And it's something that I don't have to worry about too much. So just in that sense, making it a favorite for this month because it's made my life a lot easier. That's really why I'm naming it in this video. I think it really just solves like that issue for me without me having to go through tons and tons and tons of like, quite frankly, like mediocre products, right? It is only offering SPF 30. I would prefer if it was SPF 50, but like I was saying, for casual sun exposure, SPF 30 is better than nothing. Also, I have to say there is a bit of a white cast. They're using a good amount of zinc to this. I have like a nice, you know, like I have a nice olive toned complexion, especially my body has a nice tan. And white cast can be very apparent. I actually do have this sunscreen on my arms, and I really don't think it's like that bad. I notice it a lot more on application than I do like that I'm seeing it right now, but I did put a pretty good generous amount on a couple hours ago, and it's really not showing up too much, right? So I'm not looking ashy. But it's, like I said, with reservations. It's not going to be a perfect product. It's not going to work for everybody. This next pick is not a new pick at all. This is not a new product. This is not new to you. Although I have to say, I don't think I've technically ever named this a favorite. It is the Cosrx Advanced 96 Mucin Power Essence. And I really, really love this product. Now, I believe that there's probably a video from like the 2018 era of my channel talking about this product. I've used it many years well before that even. Like, this has been around in my skincare journey for a very long time. But I have to be honest with you, I really haven't used this in the last probably 3 or 4 years. Not consistently, you know, here and there for sure. I recommend it a ton. I got my mom hooked on it for sure. It's such a lovely product, but I have not consistently used it for a long time until recently, until about this month. I cannot stop using this. It's so good. I think it's just, you know, how I was saying with the Wishtrend serum, like my skin is just craving a lot of hydration with some balancing moisture. I need both of those things, but when it comes to summer, it can't be super overwhelming, thick, rich types of products. And so I really feel like this fits the bill. It really just brings everything that my skin needs and really helps to keep it balanced and really just kind of helps keep it all in check. And of course, I mean, I cannot resist that plumping action, right? It's just so juicy. It feels amazing on the skin. But also Snail is a really great ingredient when you are going to be out in the sun a little bit more. It's very healing. It has antioxidant protection. It has wound healing abilities. It has well aging abilities, but it actually can help reverse photo damage on the skin too. It's just an overall really well-rounded great ingredient for skin health. When it comes to like what's been going on in my skincare life, definitely finding some heavy duty sweat resistant sunscreen has been top of mind for me. So I've been spending pretty much every weekend doing some form of labor in my yard, which means I am sweating because I'm working hard, but it's also hot, right? And I'm working during some of the hottest portions of the day where the UV is the highest. So, you know, with a lot of sweat and a lot of sun, you need a sunscreen that's going to hold up to that. And I'm going to be bluntly honest with you because you know I love kbeauty and Asian beauty. they don't cut it in this area. Not in my experience. Kbeauty, like, what am I always saying? These are not water resistant formulas. These are casual sun exposure formulas. That is where they excel. The elegant formulas that feel good every single day, that work underneath makeup, that feel more like skincare. That is what they do best. They don't really do the heavy duty sweat resistant sunscreen. Now let's talk about J-Beauty. I don't talk a ton about J-Beauty, but they do have excellent sunscreens. And they do actually have a lot more water resistant sunscreens available. Again, speaking from my experience, I've used J-Beauty sunscreens in the past for being outside for sweating. They're okay. I have used them for swimming. They don't cut it. They don't cut it. I've gotten sun damage and sunburns from using J-Beauty water resistant sunscreens in the pool. And maybe it was a user error. I don't know. But like, that is, again, my experience and my comfort level. And that's really important to address that in your skincare journey. What's your comfort level? My comfort level when it comes to sweat, like sweaty sunscreen, it doesn't lie in Asian beauty. It actually lies in the American market and the European market. These are actually not new favorites. I've actually named these as favorites last year, but I want to talk about them again because I'm revisiting them again and they are helping me so much. The first is the Avene Very High Protection Fluid Sunscreen. This is the fragrance-free version, the Very High Protection line through Avene. There's a lot of different versions of the Very High Protection sunscreen. So this is the fluid version and it is fragrance-free. It's kind of confusing, but I'm going to have links in the description box. Anyways, this is so good. I actually, not this bottle, but I picked this up when I was traveling in Greece last year. That's when I first discovered it and started using it. And I, like, honestly, if this can hold up to Greece in the summertime when the temperatures are 90 degrees plus, it's super hot. I was all over the country, but even like on the islands, it's so humid. And you, again, just sweating like underneath your clothes, and you just can't help it. Like, you just get wet, you know. This holds up to that. It's held up to swimming in the ocean. This held up to sightseeing all day long. This is good stuff, and I feel very protected when I'm using it. It's all new generation chemical filters. The name suggests very high protection. They're really delivering on that in my experience. Now, body sunscreen. Having a really good body sunscreen is important, and having a good generous size is important. Another reason why I just personally turn away from Asian beauty when it comes to body sunscreen. Roche-Posay. Now, this is the wet skin gel sunscreen. I absolutely love this. It's chemical sunscreen. It actually uses a mixture of new generation and older generation chemical filters. I'm not even bothered by it because this is so stinking sweat and water resistant. OMG, like, I can hardly remove this in the shower, and that might be a headache for some people, but like, that just proves to me how well this is protecting my skin when I am sweating from head to toe. This is actually the kids version, the Dermo Pediatrics. It is the same formula, but they have taken out the fragrance from the kids version. This does actually still contain denatured alcohol. I'm not even bothered by that because, quite honestly, for my body takes alcohol absolutely fine. My face, different story, but my body, it's fine. And I actually kind of prefer body sunscreen with denatured alcohol because it dries so quickly. So you're not getting that really, like, you're not standing like this waiting so you can put your clothes on because your sunscreen's not dry yet. You would not even know that I wear gloves on my hands when I'm working in the yard, but I often am wearing a tank top. So like, I should have a tan line here and I do not. So this is protecting my skin super well. This is also the sunscreen that I use to swim in as well because, like I said, I can hardly get it off in the shower. It's protecting my skin while I'm swimming. So those are my water resistant sunscreen favorites. Let's jump into the fail of the month because I know you've been waiting to find out which product failed me. And I have to say, this one product failed me spectacularly. This is the Glow Recipe Plump Hyaluronic Gloss Balm. That's kind of fun to say. This was actually sent to me by the brand. This is, I think, a new launch for them, part of their hyaluronic line. I have to say, I've not tried the hyaluronic serum or the hyaluronic cream that they have in the Plum line, but this balm, they sent the balm to me and I was like, I love lip balm. I'm just gonna, this is handy. I'm just gonna use this. And so I put it on my coffee table because I always need, Am I the only one? Do you have lip balm in every room as well? Everywhere, sometimes multiple, at the desk, at the coffee table, on the bedside table, in the bathroom, in the car. How many in your purse if you're not cleaning them out? Like handfuls, right? Anyways, so I put it on my coffee table. I'm like, I'll just use this, when I'm watching TV or whatever. And that's what I did. I probably used this all of 4 times, like in 2 days. And I got lip eczema. Oh, I remember waking up that morning and I was like, what's wrong with my lip? Why does it feel like it's dried out? Like from the inside of my lip to the outside of my lip feels so incredibly parched. And I was like, okay, I just need some like Aquaphor or something. So I put some Aquaphor. That didn't really help it out. And then I kind of like, waking up more, I'm drinking my matcha and I'm like, wait a second. And I looked in the mirror and I could see all the bumps on the top of my lip, that scaly skin, right? You know what I'm talking about? Like, oh no. Thank my lucky stars that it did not start to weep and the skin did not break. Because once that happens, scarring is going to happen, right? So it was not that bad and it did not like leave the border of my lip. So I was fine. But I have to say the only new thing I've done to my lips in the last few days was this stuff. And I have to say, like, I'm not just calling this out because like, oh, it made my skin flare up. I'm actually calling this out because I don't think it's a very good lip balm. So ingredients wise, there's not a lot going on here. They are using what they're calling flavor, which is, it's fragrance, right? It's a different kind of fragrance. It's a different categorization, but it's scent, right? So there aren't any of those fragrant compounds that I for sure know would flare up eczema. There's no essential oils in there which would very likely flare up eczema for me. It was just flavor. So that was kind of odd that it happened that way. But I don't like the texture of this balm. It's very stiff. It doesn't really melt. It doesn't become balmy. It's very stiff. It's kind of sticky. And I don't find it to be very moisturizing. It really just kind of sits in like this kind of sticky, thick layer at the top of your lips, but it doesn't really like moisturize or hydrate or really honestly plump. This isn't plump deep within the skin at all. And that's really what my skin wants. I want deep down replenishment, deep down moisturization. These sound familiar when I talk about like serums and toners, right? It needs to dive deep. This just really doesn't. So with the rising temperatures, you may also be struggling to find that balance in your skincare routine. Maybe your skin is fluctuating as well. I want to let you know that I do have some consults available this month. So definitely check out the description in the box below to find out more. But I do have 3 different offerings at 3 different price points. I really think there's something in here for everybody. If it sounds interesting, please do check out the link and see if it's right for you. A little while ago, I was looking at my channel dashboard here on YouTube, and YouTube was so kind to remind me that it's my channel's birthday this month. And I was like, it is? I remember June, and I was like, oh, yes, you are right. I did start this channel in June of 2013. 10 years ago, I started this YouTube channel. And I was like, wow, cool. And then I was like, wait a second. In 2013, when you started this channel, did you really think in 10 years you'd be where you are today? And I was like, no, not at all. Not at all. Because when I started this channel, and I haven't shared this story in a really long time, how the origin of my YouTube channel, basically. 2013, June of 2013. So I graduated college in May of 2013. And so after I moved back home and everything, I started my channel. And it was mostly makeup focused. The videos are still there. I don't believe in taking stuff down. So like you can go back and see baby me. I'm sure they're cringeworthy at this point in time, but everybody starts somewhere, right? And so I put my all into the channel, like making one video every single week for an entire year. I was like, this is going to be it. Like, I'm going to be a YouTuber. This is going to be like everything, and this is going to be my career. I'm going to be a YouTuber. And all I need to do is just dedicate 1 year of my life to it. And it's just going to take off. Like, it's going to happen. Like any day now, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So I think after about a year, I had maybe 200 subscribers. And I don't know, for a multitude of reasons, I was just like, this isn't for me. And so I quit. I quit because I put this like arbitrary timeline on success and it didn't happen within a year. And so I just gave up. And that's really that's not the way, that's not the way. But at the time, like, I guess I needed to walk away. Like, it's just, we can't change anything about our past. We can only learn as we go forward. And what I learned from that experience was, I turned away defeated, thinking that I had failed. But one of the few, like the last videos that I had released before I gave up, just slowly actually started to pick up on views. Very slowly picked up on views. But I remember going back to my channel a couple years later and seeing that video had like 80,000 views. And I was like, what the heck? What happened here? While I was sleeping, while I was ignoring this, while I was feeling sorry for myself or whatever, like I could have, like, if I had tapped into this and not put this weird timeline on things, like I probably could have capitalized on this. And I didn't. Like I said, we can't go back. It's just, we always have to learn as we move forward. And so I did, decide I wanted to come back and figure this out and figure out what I want to do. I wanted to try again. And so that's when I picked up like this version, you know what I mean? This era of the channel in 2018. And I had learned from the past to not put arbitrary timelines on things. I had learned from the past not to define success to be a very rigid, specific type of thing, and to just follow it and to just see how it goes and to learn as I go, and to not like be this like perfectionist and think everything is just going to work out, but just work it out as I move forward and just keep taking those steps forward. And so, my definition of success as a YouTuber in 2018, is it how I like what my life looks like today? Maybe not. No. Certainly there are like vanity numbers that I could have or whatever. That doesn't really mean that much to me though, because I'm able to do what I love every single day. Like I've figured that out on the journey, and I get to help people and I get to make an impact. And back in 2013 and back in 2018, when I was like, I want to be a YouTuber, I don't know that that was how I defined success at the time, but it's actually like, that is the definition of success for me today. Being able to look back, it makes me smile, right? And be able to share that story with you today makes me smile too, because it's so important to reflect back, That's really the message I want to leave you with, is just like, not everything works out the way that we think it's going to, the way we imagine it, the perfect way, and like down to every detail and checking every box. It doesn't. It just doesn't. Life isn't like that, right? But that doesn't mean you didn't succeed. That doesn't mean that you aren't doing better. That doesn't mean that you aren't in a better place or a better version of yourself, or like you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's so important to reflect back and to not hold those arbitrary timelines and definitions of success on ourselves. It's never going to be exactly the way you think it's going to, but if you don't look back, you're never really going to be able to acknowledge how far you've come. So now it's your turn to let me know all the products that you loved this month, or the products that you did not love this month. Let me know in the comments. And hey, if you learned a lesson this month, share it with us as well. Now, if you made it through the whole video, you're still here, but you haven't hit subscribe yet, please, I would be so honored if you'd come join our community. I release a lot of new skincare videos, self-care videos, and I do long form videos and shorts. I'm very active here on YouTube every single week. So hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you're never out of the loop. I love you so, so, so much. I say it often, but I really want you to know that like this channel is not possible without you. It is not possible without your support, without you subscribing, without you thumbsing up, without you watching, without the comments. It's not possible. And I'm so grateful to every single one of you, whether you are known, whether you're commenting or whether you're not. I see you. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so, so much. I hope you are healthy, happy, and safe. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.